Well, it's been a couple of years, but I've returned to Elk Springs Ranch. They'd had a hog problem previously, and I'd gotten the hogs cleared out with some help with some other people. But the hogs have found a hole in the fence and have made it their way back into the property yet again. This is a high-fenced ranch, so hogs should not be there. I'd been putting out corn underneath this feeder. This feeder currently isn't working, and to this corn I'm adding some snow cone syrup. I'm set up on a little hill at the bottom of the screen. The first hog's going to come in under the trees, close to the blue feeder. And then a little bit later I'm going to spot a hog coming out of the bottoms where the water has receded in the small lake. He's going to come up the hill. I'm going to get my rifle on him. And he's going to get dropped right here with a shot to the head. Here's a view from my overlook position. There's the blue feeder. That's where the second hog is going to go down. And here's a zoomed in image of the blue feeder. And the first hog is going to come in under the trees off to the right. Carpe sus. There's the first hog. As you can see, he's coming in under the trees. You can't quite make him out completely because of the tree limbs in the way. The wind is not going to be a problem at this point, but he's acting a little bit skittish. I'm wondering if maybe he can smell the syrup that I've added to the corn. It doesn't have a lot of smell to it, but sometimes hogs, when they have a change in their environment, even if it's a food they might like, they will stay away from it. They will wait and check it out and not approach it until they determine that the area is actually safe, and if this is bothering them, then they'll just hold off. At this point, I'm still thinking he's going to come in and eat the food. I'm getting lined up right here thinking maybe I could take this shot. Maybe I won't hit a limb. And then he takes off running. And I don't see him again. So I sit back, watch the raccoons that have come in. This one raccoon stayed for more than an hour and a half eating. Working on developing high blood sugar, I think. Every now and then this raccoon and the other raccoons would alert to something in the brush, like he's doing there, but usually it would just be another raccoon. Eventually, the second hog came in from the opposite direction. I'd worked this way up the hill. Alright, here we go. 160 yards. I'm quite pleased at this point. And I hear this noise that's going to indicate to me that maybe I didn't get it recorded. That usually means I failed to turn on the video out feature on my thermal scope, but it was on. As it turns out, the battery on the recorder was going dead, and I simply changed the battery.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
The boar came in at 150 pounds. Moving on to the next location, this is my landowner's hayfield. He's got a pivot watering system set up in it, so this is his good hayfield, and he doesn't want hogs in it. There's the pivot. So I'm going to take this one at 250 yards, and as I'm tracking on the runners, for whatever reason the image in my scope fades away. So I've completely lost the image. I reboot the scope a couple times, finally get the scope rebooted. I've got image inside the scope. I don't know what went wrong. But there's my hog down, and the other hogs, as you saw, were running off to the left, running past the pivot, and I watched them with my handheld as they disappeared behind the trees off to the left. So despite what should have been several shooting opportunities, I came away with this one boar, shot through the left shoulder, the bullet exiting out behind the right shoulder. And it turned out to be a small 110-pound boar, and he did it for my night. Carpe sus, my friends.